What's cracking, everybody? How you doing? Buenos dias, saludos. What's cracking? So check it out, man. I was thinking about the video with Hector Bravo and what irritates me about this dude, and trying to explain on the kind of demeanor he has, and show that by experience on the type of cops that I don't like. Now, I do believe we do need police officers in this world, in this society, because they take care of our loved ones, no matter how much we hate them, no matter how much we disagree with some of the things that some of these cops do. And just like everything, there's always bad cops and good cops, right? Hector Bravo is, I think, he's a cop still, um, whether he has a badge or not. The way his demeanor is, that's the way he acts. Now he has seems to have like a personal vendetta against paisas, and I've heard people say, "Hey, well, his parents are paisas," um, and I've heard gang members with their neighborhoods tagged on their names defend Hector Bravo's statement about paisas or chomos. Right? He basically, not basically, he did group a whole group of people into one one derogatory remark, which was all paisas or chomos, and we all know that not to be true. There are a lot of paisas that hold themselves in high regards and are very respectful and law-abiding citizens, you know. But Hector Bravo, for whatever reason, he feels like they're all chomos, and I don't agree with that statement. Majority of the guys I was busted with the paisas were all busted for dope. They were all busted for dope. Now, I'm not saying that's any better. I'm not, because a lot of people are dying from dope. But that's what I've seen, right? And they do abide by the program, and they know if there's a trauma on the yard, they're gonna get them off the yard. That's just the way it is, right? Now, I'm not gonna say paisas are fully involved in all the functions, because they're not. They're on no car, and they do things the way they do them. They have their own little politics, and but for the most part, they follow, uh, let's say, the rules of the road. You know what I mean? They're if they know there's a trauma on the yard, they're gonna deal with them. That's just the way it is. So as I was growing up, I had many interactions with cops, and I'm just gonna give you the ones from Burbank. Um, there was three detectives: Rossoff, Scavarna, and Duran. Right now, I met Duran and Scavarna when I was very young, about 8, 9 years old. Um, we used to get pulled over by them on a regular basis. And as I got older, I understood that it was mainly Scavarna that would um, push for us to get stopped. He was the one that initiated all the time. It wasn't so much Duran, because throughout the years, I probably had 3 conversations with Duran when I got busted, and he would always ask me a question, like a cop usually does, ask you questions, and when I wouldn't tell him nothing, he would just let it go. He'd just walk away. Never seemed to have anything personal against me. Versus Kavarna and Rossoff, they would ask a question. He would tell them, "I ain't telling you shit," and then they would take it personal. Now, me personally, I believe if you're gonna commit a crime, you got to be willing to take that time that comes with it. I don't agree with you getting busted and dropping dime on somebody else. Like, why would you even get involved if you're gonna do that, right? But everybody's different. Me, I follow the rules. Whatever game I'm playing, I follow rules. I don't take shortcuts, and that's probably why I ain't got no holes in me. Thank God. But for whatever reason, Scavarna and Rossoff would take things personal, and they'll set you up, put dope in your car, they'll beat you up, they'll do whatever they had to do to give you a case, whether you deserved it or not. That's the type of individual cops that these detectives were in Burbank. They would come after you and even if they know you didn't do it, but they were had a way of prosecuting for it. That's what they would do. Now, there was also other cops named Mahoney, and that was the nickname that we gave him because of from one of the cops on T.J. Hooker, the TV show. He used to wear his pants really tight. We used to call him Mahoney for a reason. He looked like him. And then there was Hill. Now Hill was a prick. He used to beat up everybody, talk shit to everybody, disrespected everybody. But then uh, there was an incident where he was let know that wasn't going to go fly. So that's all I'm going to say on that aspect. But he never disrespected me. He never took nothing personal. At least with me, he didn't. Mahoney never took nothing personal. And every time I ran across him, they would ask questions. And because I wouldn't answer, they were like, okay, whatever. But that was their job to do that. You know, I understand that. I'm not a dumb person or naive when it comes to that. You know, that's the cop's job is to get information from people to solve crimes, right? Now Hector Bravo is that type of individual that takes things personal. For whatever reason, maybe he had an incident with the Paisa that he never forgave him, and he takes it out on all of them. I'm not cool with what he said. I don't know how anybody is. I've had people comment and try to defend him um, through the comments, and one in particular, his neighborhood's written on the tag of him defending Bravo. And I don't understand it. You know, he got his neighborhood tagged up as his name, but he's saying, "Oh, well, you know, this, that, this," and trying to make excuses for Bravo. And I don't understand it. It's just, you know, there's no excuse for what Bravo said. He should apologize like a man and say, "Hey, you know what? I shouldn't have said that. It's wrong. It was." He didn't even try to say it was taken out of context. He basically said that he was talking about SNY when he never mentioned SSY as far as just the Paisas. You know, I'm gonna tell you right now, the Paisas are not like a big factor in the joint. At least when I was there, they weren't a big factor in the joint, but they handle their business. They're not the type of group that's just gonna let somebody bulldoze over them or disrespect them or anything of the sort. They might not play the politics like everybody else does, but there's certain things that they're not gonna let fly, and one of them is being a child molester. So for Bravo to even say that shit was just off the hook to me. You know what I mean? And that's why I try to explain to people why I don't like certain cops. And those certain cops are people that take things personal. When you have a job as a police officer, your job is to convict people, catch people breaking the law, and persecute them, and that's honorable. Fine, you know what I mean. I was breaking the law. I knew what I had coming. I'm cool with that. What I don't like is when you get somebody like I'm giving an example. When I was going to court, when I was going to my preliminary hearing, they brought up a paper bag, right? And apparently the rifle was in the paper bag. Wow, I was a little confused because I knew that they didn't have the rifle. So they prosecuted me during for the rifle as evidence, but when it hit the trial, there was no rifle. So they never had a rifle. Another thing was when I got busted, they had a statement from uh, one dude, right? He said that he went down the wrong street and that he got lit up, and for whatever reason, I think he said he missed the wrong. He was trying to get to the freeway or some dumb shit like that, right? Well, he had two other dudes with them, and those other two dudes would not testify, right? So this guy was giving this big, and it comes out that there was multiple people in the car, and they caught him perjuring himself. Well, during my trial, what happened with that was the police officer, while the courts said we can still use his statements, he can still stand on this dude, but we have to re-swear him in that he tells the truth this time. Go figure. So he got caught lying, and then when he got caught lying, they re-swore him in so they could still use his statement, which is something. But that's the system for you. That's what happens in the system. Now Skvarna and Rosov, they don't care. They were the type of detectives that didn't care whether you did something or not. They were going to lock you up for if they could. And that's what happened with me. So when I was in court, somebody from my family was very upset with me because I got busted. And they were basically cutting loose. You know, we're done with you. We're tired of your bullshit. You're always doing this shit kind of thing. Until the detective Skvarna and Rosov were walking by in the courtroom, and I was visiting with my family, right? Those family members. And my question was like, hey, when are you going to cut me loose? You know I didn't do this shit. And they were like, yeah, we know you didn't do it, but you're going to go down for it. And that what kept my family by my side was the fact that they heard the cops say they know that I didn't do it. But I was going down for it. And these are cops that take things personal. I don't see myself persecuting somebody for something or doing something to somebody if they had nothing to do with it, right? If they were innocent. But there's certain cops out there like Bravo that will sit there and persecute somebody knowing they didn't do nothing wrong. And this is my problem with a lot of cops is they take things personal. And I think Bravo took some things personal with the Paisas, and that's why he said what he said. You know what I mean? They got no kind of morals or any kind of value to life, because you figure if you're sending somebody to jail, right, for especially for a long period of time, you're sending them to prison, you actually don't have any kind of value to somebody's life. You're taking away their life. You're taking away from their kids and their families, and because you have a personal vendetta, because you worry more worried about your career than somebody that actually did a crime. So you're gonna lock up somebody because you can get a conviction, but they didn't do it. But you can go to sleep like that. I couldn't do that. I've always been one of those guys that I follow the rules. As a gangbanger, I follow the rules. I didn't take shortcuts. I did what I was supposed to do. I handled my business the way I was supposed to. But I didn't break the rules. And I always thought, you know, if a cop's smart enough, he's gonna catch my dumb ass, because I ain't no brilliant motherfucker. But there's cops like Skvarna and Rosov that are not smart enough, so they'll set you up. They'll set you up because they can't play the role. They want to enforce the rules, but they can't follow them. And that's the same kind of thing with Bravo. He got no kind of morals or values to say that about a group of people and isolate them from everybody else and say, yeah, they're nothing but tromos. That's just wrong. And supposedly his family are paisas. How do you do that? How do you do that and sleep at night? You know what I mean? Him saying that could put people in danger by saying that all paisas are tromos. Anybody who's been in the system knows that the paisas, if they find out somebody's a tromo, they're gonna deal with it. They're not one of those guys. They're not one of those groups that politic and get into everything and micromanage shit. But if you find out you fucked up, they're gonna deal with you. That's just the way it is. So that was just my little take on it and my little experience with cops, to try to explain to you why I don't like cops like Bravo. He might not have a badge no more, but he's still, in his heart, he's still a cop. And he's the type of cop that would set you up or do whatever he does to benefit his career. He doesn't care about anybody else. And him saying what he said proves it to me. So with that, have a blessed day. I'll see you guys later.